faster. Hey, what you doing in my truck? Hey, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let me put you down. What's up, champs? How you doing? Oh, it's been a long day. I just finished up, and now I'm gonna put in my load calls, and I'll call it a day. But yeah, if you saw the video of this, the title of this video, I'm tired, man. But if you saw the title of this video, designer wasn't made for broke people. And we're gonna talk about how the evolution of designer brands had kind of like participated within hip-hop, because hip-hop really opened up a subsection of designer. And so the designer that was originally kind of put out there had no labels. A lot of those high class people, they had these clothing that you would be like, wow, that's plain, but it's worth so much. And typically the only people that would identify that would be a thief and know that this is high price items are going to be those that are familiar with the wealthy and what the wealthy spend their money on. I remember I went into, we have like a fashion mall. It's our upgraded mall, and then down the street is the ghetto mall that is literally just going to shambles and poop. But the clothing is very different over there. I walked in there and I was looking at, I think it's, don't get me wrong, I think it's like a Peter Millar jacket or something like that. I'm not too sure, I could be wrong. But I went in there, and their jackets itself is upwards from starting around $500 on up. And the one I was looking at was like $2,000. And I gotta be honest with myself. Would I like to go ahead and lay down $2,000 for a quality jacket? Yes. But you could tell the difference when I went down to the ghetto mall and the jacket was $20. So the quality is something that I've noticed is a significant difference, and quality is what I'm after. Right now I'm in my bum phase. I got a Hanes pocket shirt on. It's comfortable. But I'll tell you guys one thing that happened to me when it comes down to designer. I went to that fashion mall, went to Saks at 5th, and I was feeling myself. I was a local driver getting bands, man. Bands! Woo! Bands somebody could dance. So I went in there, just got my second or third check, and I get paid weekly. I said, I'm about to make it rain in Saks and 5th. And don't get me wrong, I could afford it, but I was stupid. I'm the type of person, I don't like to see my bank account fall below something. So at the time I did this stupid thing and put it on a credit card. Stupid. So anyway, I go into Saks and 5th. I'm looking at this nice Versace belt, flashy, and everybody would know this is the Medusa head, right? And I bought it. The belt was around $600 to $700, and I bought it. And fast forward, at the time, I was like a 30 in the waist. I'm like anywhere right now, 34 to 36, 32, 34, 36. That's typically where I am. I know it ranges, but pants range is very strange. And that belt no longer fits me. And I'll tell you, I only wore that belt. I have not even wore that belt 700 times to equate to the cost of what that belt was. And so when I think about it, I'm like, man, honestly, I wish I went for maybe a low-key, not so flashy belt. And I noticed when I went downstairs, I was also looking at Gucci belts, and I actually used to wear belts all the time. I don't anymore. I wear joggers. I love joggers, so I invest in joggers that are a little bit expensive. I go to like Old Navy. Those ones I like. It has like a zipper. The quality of cotton doesn't ruffle up like these ones that I got at Walmart. So I go after quality, and they're expensive. To me, they are. It's like $40 for some joggers. I'm like, golly. So I wait until there's a sale, then I get like 2 of them. Yeah. But designer I watched this guy break down how the rich dress, and throughout my life, my dad, we used to go to like these like ballroom type things for the church that we went to, and then he would have work, and he would work with some of these highfalutin people, right? And a lot of times he would notice that the clothing that they have were very plain. But once I started getting into eBay and I did a resale business, I was successful, but I just couldn't keep up with it. It's kind of hard to do it with shipping and getting it on time, and then dealing with the cheating ex-girlfriend. It kind of became difficult. So I quit that side of things, and what I noticed is that suits at Goodwill, a lot of the red tags, some of them are red tag suits. I can't remember the brand, but anytime I would see it, like Brooks Brothers is a really good brand if it's high quality. And they're typically the collar shirts. Those are worth quite a bit of money, and the suits are quite a bit of money if you could get it in a good size. So once I really started noticing how the Peter Millars, the suits, and how these collar shirts of Brooks Brothers, those are kind of like vintage clothing items. They still make some, but they're now no longer really strongly connected with Brooks Brothers. But all of these different clothing brands are very plain. And then you see the cheaper brands. When I used to work at TJ Maxx, they would have it plastered. You have to understand that Ralph Lauren, or Ralph Lauren, it all determines on how you want to say it. When I was in Macy's, I'm going to get back to TJ Maxx, but when I was in Macy's, the pony was this small. But when I was in TJ Maxx and it was discounted, sometimes they would have the small pony, but majority of times they would have the big old polo and then the giant horse. And the reason why they discount it and send it off to these kind of like wholesalers who then distribute it to the populace that can afford it is because they want to be advertisement for the same level. So people could be like, oh wow, that's cool. Like Aeropostale back in my day, way back then, FUBU, all this stuff, but more so Aeropostale was a brand that used to logo all over themselves. I had to say hi to one guy, but Aeropostale knew that its target demographic was going to be teenagers or even middle schoolers. So we would go to school and we would have it. I remember this Hollister. It was like a versus Hollister versus Aeropostale kind of one at a time, and then Hollister is the one that lasted. But if you see, like, Aeropostale even changed significantly because Hollister did the same thing. They don't have these huge logos. They want to be a little bit more upscale, probably try to get into the millennial audience that it once captivated. So, sorry, I have allergies. But yeah, when it comes down to designer brands, if you really want to get quality, not even the malls like the Saks at Fifth or anything like that. Saks at Fifth, they have somewhat quality clothes, but it's not going to be on the tier that you think it is. A lot of these quality clothing brands that cost significant amount of money, you're going to have to travel. You're going to have to travel abroad. Like, for example, these aren't, I like Ray-Bans, but I believe Ray-Bans are Italian, right? And these are just some cheap sunglasses for my truck because I break glasses in my truck. Why would I purchase expensive glasses anyway? I got a lot of compliments on those. But if you really want the authentic and like one of a kind, maybe close to one of a kind, you would travel over to these locations to get it. Because Ray-Ban's not going to send everything in their options and markets. They're going to send whatever they believe is going to appear to the audience, which is Ray-Ban's is kind of like they have the typical the typical sunglasses. I forgot, like your everyday sun, and then they have aviators. So those two kind of sunglasses are very well known. They do have circular sunglasses like these, but they're not pushed as often. So when I watch this video and they're in these plain clothing, you just don't know that their wealth is so significant, just due to the fact that the last thing that a lot of these designer brands want to target is broke people. They don't want to tarnish their brand. Even some of these brands came from a horrible background. One of them, I forgot the name of it, but I think it's Boss. Hugo Boss had a bad background at one point. I might have gotten that wrong, but I'm pretty sure Hugo Boss is the one that had a bad background that shifted into a totally different thing, and now new investment companies kind of keep on messing it up. But yeah, even the scents, like a lot of these, I can smell cheap perfume or cheap parfum, or even cologne. Parfum, male, is a more potent smell, right? It's way stronger than just a normal cologne. Colognes I can smell when you're wearing something cheap, nasty, and also perfumes I don't like. It's very the most expensive types are actually very much subtle, and yet they bring a lot of chemistry to it, because they actually play on your mind. There are certain perfumes that I'm like, wow, that smells great. It attracts me to whatever that, temporarily. I'm like trying to figure out where it is. So for people out there that want to get into this upper echelon, which I'm not in, I don't know if I would participate in. I really just find that my everyday attire, I like it. I can't say I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't overindulge. I would probably overindulge in suits. Those are the kind of things. If John Wick's suit is available, I will take that. Bulletproof any day. But when it comes down to the ideal of designer, you gotta understand, you gotta really feel where you are in the hierarchy. It's like people want to believe that they're higher than they are because they own a BMW and make payments, that they have a newer car and they make payments, that they wear gold and they wear this. I literally used to wear a gold chain all the time, but it meant nothing to me. This means a whole lot more, even though I accidentally broke it. But this means a whole lot more to me than anything else in a gold chain. It's good to have gold as a backup currency if it becomes, important again, as much as money. But the reason why I say this makes the more meaning for me is I traveled to Puerto Rico to see my family, and I got this as a souvenir. And so regardless if, I know this is real wood, and they said that it's a real shark's tooth. Regardless if it's a real shark's tooth or not, it still has more sentimental attachment for me with this. Now, I can't sleep with this because this might hook me and I might, But when it comes down to gold, I'm like, okay, it looks good, but who am I really trying to impress? Like, am I trying to peacock? No. And so dudes over here wearing gold chains that are either real or fake, a real, I would say a smart woman would already know what to look for. And I think that as my daughter ages, she'll probably see what wealth looks like without flaunting it. Because typically, you don't want to go for that flashy guy. They will literally be a loser down the road. More than likely, they'll be a loser because they have been given everything. And I believe that a lot of people throughout my life told me I was an extremely good-looking guy, right? And I never saw that. I couldn't get all the women that I ever wanted. And I think that really made me humble. And I always get compliments, but I never believed it. And so I'm able to operate in a life that I didn't get a whole lot of things handed to me. I had to work 3 times as hard just to get something somebody natural could do. Like YouTube, for instance, I'm working 3 times as hard just to get back into the good graces of YouTube. YouTube, I love you. I love you. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is a little bit of a breakdown of Designer. I have a lot of retail experience which I forgot about, and I think I really want to talk about when it comes down to, because some people could really do with the upgrade in clothing. I haven't worn my best clothes in a long time, and I need to upgrade, but I'm waiting to build my wealth. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch all of you champs in the next one. Peace.